I want to start off by giving your flowers about one thing. Right? So we got Super Bowl, not this Sunday, the following Sunday.
Yes.
We've got Kansas City Chiefs versus the Eagles. And the truth is, we should have. That was a very easy prediction. If you really think about it.
I mean, it was an easy prediction.
I know everybody was like antagonistic towards Kansas City Chiefs, but they had home field advantage. I did not see them getting. I did not see them losing per se.
Was the QB sneak a first down? Come on.
Here's the way. Here's one way to look at answer. Here's a better way to answer that question. Anyone who's even a minute fan of soccer knows that they've now created these. When they have game balls, they have RFID microchips in them that tell you if it has been touched by someone's hand, if it's offsides. Right? Why doesn't football have the same technology?
I agree.
Why are we sitting there waiting for two people to eyeball it? They're 30 yards away.
Yep.
And there's 20 grown-ass men covering this ball. There is no way they would. You can definitively say it one way or the other.
Yeah.
Because what I will tell you is, although I know a lot of conspiracy theorists say now it was a first down, I'm sorry, there's no way you can be definitive either direction.
I don't know. There's a lot of angles that were pretty definitive. I mean, the tip of the ball.
But
pass.
Think about what I'm saying. Think about what I'm saying. Why, if soccer has this technology, why doesn't football have it? And then they can go right to the computer, boom, it passed the yard.
Vegas.
To me, I think Vegas would want a more consistent.
No, they wouldn't. No. Have you ever met Vegas? Have you? Oh, there we go. Have you ever met Vegas? You want them to have consistency? No, they want control. What? You think Vegas wants consistency? You silly man. No. They want to be able to control the narrative because look, they want their lines to match. They want their over-unders to cross.
Sure.
No, they don't want consistency.
Yeah.
What? If they had a fair game, how could they ever set the betting lines?
Yeah.
How could they ever do it? No.
Well, we are getting into conspiracy theories there. Sorry. We are getting a little bit of conspiracy theory.
Is it a conspiracy theory to say that Vegas controls a lot of major U.S. sports?
Okay, I'm not disagreeing with you. But what I am going to say is that not a more fair criticism to sit there and say, why don't we have the technology, if it currently exists in other sports, to definitively decide if something like that would be a first down, rather than eyeballing. Look, what? So casinos don't bet on soccer? Casinos don't bet on every other sport?
What's the odds on football over any other American sport?
Are you kidding me? The football doesn't even barely cracks the top 10 on most watched sports.
Yes. No, not most watched. That's not what what's the most betted sports? You think I need somebody.
Have you ever met anyone in London? I'm sorry. Just tell you. I'll give you a fact now.
What is Vegas trigger? Do you think their money?
Vegas is not.
Do you think their money is in soccer?
Vegas is not the only. I assure you, Vegas bets on soccer just as much as any other sport. And I assure you, the casinos and the sports books in London.
Pretty sure the producer has answered. He can shut me up really quickly.
Football number one.
Which in the U.S. or worldwide? There's a big difference.
For betting. No, just for Vegas betting. That's all I'm talking about. Vegas betting.
Sure,
I'm not talking about worldwide. I'm just talking about Vegas betting.
But what's
number one?
3.5 billion fans all over the world bet on football.
American football, right? Through Vegas. So period. That is their moneymaker.
With cricket number 2, basketball number 3, golf number 4.
That is their moneymaker.
Horse racing number 6, boxing number 7.
Again, this is U.S. market.
No, he's just saying worldwide, and cricket is next. So that's saying worldwide.
Soccer is not top 3. You're not looking at the right.
The 7 biggest betting sports in the world.
I'm telling you, I know what Vegas does. Like this is their moneymaker. The NFL is their moneymaker.
Sure.
It's not necessarily that far-fetched of a conspiracy theory to say that if you now make these things automated,
sure.
Okay, so then what? So then if this is automated and that line crosses, the ball crossed the line on that first down,
sure.
and they call it, They don't like Vegas can't control that.
But the most popular betting events around the world, FIFA World Cup #1.
Yeah, I mean,
Followed by Super Bowl #2.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, you're talking about again, but you're talking about more people watch the FIFA World Cup. But what I'm saying is, that's one event. That's one event. Football is months of betting. That's their moneymaker. Yeah, yes. FIFA, when it comes around, the FIFA World Cup, that one event, yes, they're probably going to go all in.
Sure.
And you probably see more controversial calls in the World Cup. I'd be willing to bet that.
I mean, I'll tell you, the last World Cup, they incorporated some of the technologies I'm talking about. And to be completely frank, it had just as many detractors as people happy with it, right? Like, oh my God, he's offside by the shin of his knee. That's so stupid.
I'm just saying, there was a lot of people that watched that last drive
But,
by Buffalo.
but let
we
me,
were very upset about
but
that.
let me, let's put it a different direction.
Yes.
Baseball had the same problems, right? They've slowly started.
Look how they've lost their fan base. They've lost it because of that. Like baseball. Baseball used to be America's prime. Like, but again, you can be okay. You can say, wait, hold on. WNBA last year had their highest prime, and they still lost money.
Come on, you can't compare WNBA.
I'm just saying. No. You cannot compare MLB to what its prime was. What MLB has lost its fan base significantly since its days of the America's pastime. Nobody will ever look at baseball as the premier sport in America. This is not. It's a regional sport now. It's a regional sport.
Well, but you have to remember what region, right? Again, correct if you want me to, Mr. Producer, but they actually broke revenue records last year.
Yeah, because they had their two highest spending franchises in the World Series.
Yeah. And more importantly,
this is why they'll never put a cap on things, because they need those franchises to be successful.
And you know what the bigger money maker really was? The Japanese market buying all in. Right? I assure you, MLB loved every minute of the Dodgers with a deep play.
Of course. But that's what I'm saying. That's why they'll never put a hard cap on their franchises, because of the simple fact that they need the big markets to be in the championship. They need it, because that's the only way MLB survives. Look, hold on.
So,
MLB cannot survive with the Kansas City Royals going to the World Series. They can't. They don't. Nobody wants to see that year after year.
Why do you believe that the NFL is okay with the Kansas City Chiefs getting preferential treatment?
Because they control the market. They market it. Like, the NFL does a lot of the marketing. No. The MLB does not put as much marketing as the NFL does in its entire league. So the NFL controls a lot of that.
Sure.
Right? So if I'm as the league, right, I want to say, all right, I need a face of the franchise. Same thing as the NBA. If I need a face of the franchise, I need this man out of Cleveland. I need him in LA. If I'm the NFL, I need a franchise person. And so now, where nobody would really watch the Chiefs, you know what? Why we're now going to watch the Chiefs? Let's make them a villain. Let's make them the villain.
The NFL's marketing budget is much larger than MLB's marketing budget. In 2023, the NFL generated $18.7 billion in revenue.
I don't know why,
which was more than double the MLB's revenue.
I'm just telling. I'm just saying, most of these things are past conspiracy theories. The numbers are starting to line up.
Let me ask you a different way.
They're just starting to line up.
Taking the Chicago hat off for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Someone made
there it goes.
someone made an observation, and I don't necessarily disagree with it.
Okay.
Patrick Mahomes is this NFL's version of Michael Jordan, all the way down to the preferential treatment from the NFL.
Okay.
Well, let's be honest.
Okay.
Michael Jordan.
Okay, I'll give you that.
There were games. Can't take anything away from him as being a great player.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of teams that complain about the calls he was getting.
Of course. As we all have as fans. Right? That's been the narrative all season. Yes.
Right? And that's been the narrative with Patrick Mahomes. Like, oh, you're getting all the calls. You're not really the best team. Blah, blah, blah. And here they are in the Super Bowl.
What does America love to do? They love to hate.
They love to hate.
And so how how easy is it to make a villain? No, let's just give him some ticky-tacky calls and let's piss off the fan base. And now we're all rooting.
There were a lot of fan bases who hated Jordan.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't doubt that at all. I don't doubt that. But what I'm saying is, this is what happens.
Isn't that fascinating?
But it's the same thing.
But when someone said that, I was like,
but look what we did with Brady. We did the same thing with Brady. Look, hold on. As soon as what was it? The Tucker rule. As soon as that came in, you created your villain.
Oh, you
created your villain.
It was well after that.
But that was the kickstart. You created a.
It was
rule.
a kickstart to their franchise run.
But creating what? A villain. People love to hate the Patriots.
But you got to remember, at the time, he was the 6th round pick. Nobody knew who he was. Didn't even start. He wasn't even the frontline starter at his team in Michigan.
Look at
Did you not remember that?
Yeah.
Now,
I think you're proving you realize you're proving my point.
But,
like you're talking about they created this narrative. They created a villain.
Since 2021 postseason, the Chiefs have more penalties than their opponent 0 times in 11 playoff games. 0%.
I know. No, I understand. I don't disagree that they get calls. I don't disagree.
This is the narrative's out. This is what they're doing. But all my point is, look, you want automation for efficiency. I'm saying they'll never put that in because it's like the same thing. It's like, hey, the guy who invented cars to run off water. Nope. X him out of here because it is the same thing. Because that's not a money generator. This is now how gas companies lose money. You can't have that. So we're going to buy out everything there. We're going to destroy everything. Don't let that man ever exist. We know it happened. We know this happened, but can't let that happen. No. It's the same thing. It's like, look, okay, you gotta create it. You gotta create it. And
so who do you like in the Super Bowl?
I don't want the Chiefs. So I want the Eagles to win. The Chiefs. Come on now, stop. The fix is in. The fix is in.
I'm going to be the optimist and say 2 things. So scoring defense rankings this year, Chiefs were number 3, Eagles were number 1.
Weren't these the same stats when they faced off in the Super Bowl 2 years ago? Weren't these similar stats? Wasn't Eagles the better team?
Is the best Eagles defense in quite some time.
Weren't they the best defense? Because they had Hargraves and they had
I'll be honest, I can't remember.
We look at those stats. What was that? I'm pretty sure when
and that was 2 years ago.
Yeah,
right?
that's what I'm saying. When they had Hargraves, they had a line. And that was when even the offense they had Kelsey. They had Jason Kelsey. That line was stout.
But do you know who's crushing it for the Eagles defense and has led them to this number 1 defense?
You're going to tell me. I already know. Because you ain't got to tell me.
Jalen Carter, since the second half, around game 8, game 9,
his
PFF score
I want to record back.
is probably it's one of the highest defensive tackle scores in the last 5 years.
I vaguely remember somebody trying to argue about, hey, no, the Bears' defensive tackle is comparable.
I want it. That's why I said I want to give you your flowers.
Oh, thank you. All right, I'll take them. All right, I'll shut up.
And the thing is, I vividly remember. We met up at a bar.
We did.
By the airport.
We were ready.
I was flying in.
We were ready to go.
And I even told you.
We were ready to go.
Because at that point, the Bears had made their infamous trade with Carolina, and they were picking 9th.
Yes.
Okay? And
he fell.
We were like, Jalen Carter's not going to falter, man. That's ridiculous.
And 7 came around.
And then 9 came around. We're getting ready to order the shots.
Oh, we were ready to go.
And the trade happened with Philadelphia, right?
And we go down one spot.
They go down one spot.
I was like, what?
For a 4th-round pick, right? It was for a 4th-round pick. We ended up with our right tackle. And Jalen Carter is going to be going to the Pro Bowl. Well, actually, he's not going to be in the Pro Bowl.
No, he's not.
In that Super Bowl.
He's an All-Pro. He's on the All-Pro. We don't have a single All-Pro on our team, but he is.
He inherited his only Pro Bowl.
Oh my God! And wait, no.
He is
And
not drafted.
he's a
But
Pro
we did get
Bowler,
Darnell
but he's
Wright,
not All-Pro.
Darnell Wright.
Jalen Johnson is not an All-Pro. I just want you to let y'all know he is a Pro Bowler.
But
He's not an All-Pro team player. I just want to let y'all know.
I look at it as Pro Bowlers, right? The team that amasses the most Pro Bowlers usually goes to the Super Bowl. That's what usually happens, right? Right now we have one.
We could have had Jalen Carter. We could have had two.
We could have had Jalen. We could have had
But
two.
we did get
We got what? What did we get?
Darnell Wright.
Our line is still.
He's the best player on the offensive line.
Okay, but in that line is still
that's the
looked
same
at.
thing as saying I'm the tallest midget on the pass defense.
Like our line is still looked at is in the bottom 10. Like, come on now. Like, it doesn't matter what we got him.
Our O line was second from the bottom.
See,
according to PFF
why was he
scores. Second from the bottom?
Can I just say like bottom 10? Like that would have made me feel a little bit better, but no, he has to throw that. But that's what I'm saying. Like, look, I would have rather had the most dominant defense than this subpar like offensive line, because at least you know what, we've made it to the Super Bowl with elite defenses.
Mm-hmm.
Look, hold on. If we go back to 2006, 2007, Rex Grossman, Bernard Berry, Lucian Muhammad, like we didn't have an elite offense.
If Jalen Carter,
Rex is our quarterback.
Rex was our quarterback, but you know what we had?
Listen,
Brian Urlacher, Lance Briggs,
Foles
Charles
made an executive decision. I'm going to take the top right tackle on my board
Bad decision.
instead of the top defensive tackle on my board. Because I also like this guy from Florida, Dexter. Now, Dexter may still end up being a solid.
He did say, I think
He said Devin.
it's Javon Dexter.
It's Javon. It's
Javon Dexter?
Javon. Gervon.
I said Dexter, so anyways. But
I love
man,
it.
I have this train of thought. And you're like disrupting.
I know. I did.
You know,
I don't know why that triggered. I was like, oh wait, no. Never mind.
you know, let the professor cook. For
Go
5
ahead.
minutes.
Cook. Let him cook.
And I'm sitting here producer brain like, that doesn't sound right.
Nope,
But,
it wasn't. Let him cook.
If he had gone the way everyone assumed they were going to go, and signed one of the available right tackles in free agents,
Easily.
we would be
The guy from San Fran.
McClinchick.
Yeah, it is,
ended up playing. He didn't make no Pro Bowl, but he was the starting right tackle for Denver, who's in the playoffs this year.
You sign him, and then you get Jalen Carter.
You were much better off.
Oh my God!
Because here's the thing: that 4th round pick, that was the pick used to draft Keenan Allen. And I'll tell you right now, Trey, sorry.
No, I thought that was Robert Quinn.
No, it was a 4th round pick for.
No, Robert Quinn.
Quinn.
We did trade Quinn for like a 4th rounder.
Yeah.
We did. No, it was a 6th. We got him for a 6th.
We
didn't get him that high.
We traded defensive end Robert Quinn to the Eagles for a 4th round pick.
Then that must have been conditional
But
because
that-
The Bears used that pick to get Cincinnati receiver Tyler Scott.
That was that was.
Which
the
he's not even on the team anymore.
No,
Should have
Scott's still on the team.
Is he?
Yeah, he's.
I thought he was on the practice squad.
Currently
Not
the
the team.
Bears have 3 wide receivers signed for this year.
And look, I'm fine with it.
Azun,
Rome,
and
DJ Moore.
You're messing up names too.
Keenan Allen's a free agent.
And let him be.
And let him
be. Like,
let him be, dear Lord, let him be.
First of all, let's be fair to Keenan Allen, right? He was the number 2 receiver on the Bears. He had 77 catches.
How many drops? How many
I'm giving you his production.
important drops?
And one thing I'll tell you is someone will sign him, right?
Okay.
It's not going to be the Bears.
We
I'll
don't
tell you
need
that right now.
We don't need
Because we could wait one more minute before I get to that segment. But if you look at Detroit Lions' system, the number 3 wide receiver doesn't get a lot of love.
Okay.
Right? And and we should put that into perspective on what we should expect this offseason. They gotta build this team now with new people in place.
Can they build it the way that the Packers build their wide receiving core with no names?
Well, the Packers wide receiver core sucks. That's why they got
No.
smoked.
Wait.
not why they got
No. So the Packers wide receiver benefited from a play action system that consisted of a stud running back each year that they did it. Like you went from Aaron Jones to Josh Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs.
And so like that
running back 3 this year.
Yeah.
So why not just
And
get
they had a
two
very-
average
And
receivers?
they had a very
Well, that's what
old
I'm saying. Like,
school.
Rome
two very
Odunze
average
and DJ Moore would be great if you add a
With the Tyler
stud
Scott.
running back
Yes.
to this mix.
Well,
And I think that would be great.
yeah.
You know who's a free agent? Aaron Jones. Look at that.
I don't think Aaron Jones is going to be a Bear. I have people who I think are going to be Chicago Bears.
I mean, Aaron Jones and DeAndre Swift would be insane. That literally will be our David Montgomery and Jamar Gibbs. That will be it.
Well,
I want it to be it. Can it be it? I'd like it. Can we just make a splash?
So-
Can we just like do things that like make sense? I want to be like a Madden team. Can we just do that?
can I give you? So I did some homework. Can we jump in that segment?
Oh, what is that segment? I don't know. I didn't get the list. I did get the
All right.
list, but I didn't pay attention to it.
Hold on.
So
Yeah.
we've been.
I'm trying to throw our producer under the bus, ladies
Look,
and gentlemen.
the Bears have been gung ho about getting their coaching staff together.
Okay.
They've already got their offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator, and head coach in place.
I wasn't excited about that coaching, but yeah.
Whatever your opinion is on Ben Johnson, let's at least give Poles credit that they identified his top target for the coaching staff, and they got him.
Good.
Right? It's been a minute since the Bears have done it. It's been a minute.
You know why?
Ownership.
Yes. Because there's no salary cap on coaches.
Nope.
The owners have to pay it.
Correct.
So if they don't want to pay it,
So
they were putting coaches on coach. That's what they were
Like
doing.
right now, Ben Johnson is the 7th highest paid coach in the NFL.
Good.
Whatever you think about that, that's the reality. It's not our money. I don't care. So to be honest, awesome, right? So check one.
Okay.
So the Bears currently have $63 million in cap space.
66. Cap raised. Yes.
They're relative.
It literally just raised.
They're
It is.
relative.
63, 67.
Yes.
In this particular range. And however, this is with 33 signed players.
Yes.
And the general consensus is even those 33, 4 of them are maybe even 5 of them are dollars.
Don't go there.
So I'm in there right now.
Don't you dare. Do not
Bates,
pass.
the offensive guard, is a goner. He will not be. He will not. If you could not crack the starting lineup of this team, you don't. And you have a non-guaranteed contract. Right? When I say non-guaranteed, I mean 0 dead money.
Yep.
Yeah,
You're out of
You're
We're gonna save some money.
Yeah. Everett, right, who, if you recall, was only signed because our offensive coordinator, who I will.
But you can
reiterate
do
his name,
something with him, though.
No, he's gone.
But you should be able to do it. Look what he did in L.A.
Let
You
me-
should be able to do something.
Let
Go
me,
ahead.
let me ask you this question.
Yep.
Who was the number 2 tight end for Detroit? I'll give you a hint. He only had 13 top targets the whole year. So Detroit does not employ a 2 tight end set. They're not going to waste $6.5 billion on a number 2 tight end who had 20 catches the whole year.
So what
in this
you're
offense.
going to bring back old man Mercedes Lewis? Like, what are we saying?
Well, look, they're going to probably draft. They're probably going to spend a draft pick on tight end. That's one of my many predictions. Okay. I mean, that's what Detroit does. They feature the number 1 tight end. The number 2 tight end gets no run. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. Right? To be honest with you, I was getting tired of these 2 tight end sets. The Bears.
Well, they weren't using it properly. The 2 tight end says to be run, play action. Run, play action. It should work. But I get what you're saying. I'm down. All right, what's next?
The defensive ends for the Bears, Walker and Robinson.
Robinson's probably gone.
Robinson, I think, was active 2 games the entire season.
Yeah.
Right?
He's probably gone.
So same deal. You're making $1.5 million. I can replace you cheaper with a draft pick or.
I think you should keep Walker. It's a big body.
Well,
It's a big body for a 3-4 set.
you've got to remember that there's a new guy coming in. He has a system that he wants to play, and he's probably going to want to bring up his players.
Of course.
Right?
But I mean, he still does an attacking defense, and Marcus Walker should actually still be part of that scheme.
Well, one of the things I was mentioning earlier to our producer was that we are concerned about the offensive line, as we should be.
Everybody should be.
But the defense wasn't exactly lighting it up, especially towards the end of the year.
Okay.
So I think it would be an incorrect assumption that they're going to bring everybody back. And for the record, almost the entire starting defense is signed for next year.
Yes, under contract. Yeah.
So Delaney Walker is, and again, these are my guesses, right? I don't have any.
So shouldn't you just add to it? Like why are we like?
By cutting these 4 players,
Okay.
you're adding another $18 million to the available cap space.
I like it. Not opposed.
Okay.
I'm good with it.
Now they're going to bring back a few players, right? At that point, we got 29 signed players who are more than likely locks into the 53-man roster, which means they need 24 more guys. Right?
You know, there's somebody named Samori Toure, a wide receiver who's signed to a reserve futures contract with the Bears.
When
They do that, no matter- just to bring it back
training
training
camp breaks, there's usually like 90 people signed.
Have you ever heard of Samori Toure?
No.
No.
And we're not going to hear it. I mean, this is why this was the entire concept of Hard Knocks was to introduce some of these players who have zero chance making the team. And the reality is, the truth is, there's actually 45 players signed right now for the Bears. And if I read you the bottom 15, you think I'm speaking Chinese. But
the top 9 are Montez Sweat, DJ Moore, Dalen Johnson, Tremaine Edmonds, Cairo Santos, Ryan Bates, Gerald Everett, Dominique Robinson, and Zach Pickens.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that list, other than the 2, like get rid of Ryan Bates.
Bates, I am in absolute shock he's still on the team. To be perfectly frank with you.
Under contract.
You can't
No.
you can't do anything into the offseason. Until the season's over.
I think they could do it like now.
I don't think they can release anybody yet.
I don't know. I mean,
Because I think it messes with the cap.
changed these rules, right?
I think it messes with the cap for this year. I don't think it can.
Maybe. I don't know. I know they've changed these rules because they used to have to wait till after June.
No, I don't think they do.
But now
they can designate now.
Now they can designate. They can say, "Oh, he's actually a June 1 cut."
Yes.
But you're free to
So
look
you can,
around
yes.
to give the players a chance to see if they
But
can
you have to
step
do
up
that
some
after the
levels.
last game, though. You still have to do it after the last game.
Yeah, maybe. But I'm telling you right now, the Everett and Bates are goners.
Probably.
Walker and Robinson, I've got a really strong bench. Right? And a lot of it's going to have to do with who I think the Bears are
still
going to.
young. You should keep it.
Well, again, when I tell you who I think the Bears are going to be targeting in free agency, right, you'll understand that.
Well, we know Trey Smith is one of them.
Well, it's interesting to talk about Trey Smith. If you rewind the tape, I told people that Trey Smith is going to be a target. I still think he's going to be a target, but I was sitting there ruminating about it earlier today, and I'm like, you know what?
Is that working?
Ruminate, overthink. I'm the professor. God damn it! I gotta throw in some big words.
I'm not mad at it. I just wanted to hear it again. I just wanted to hear it.
So Trey Smith is an extremely rare free agent. A 3-time Pro Bowler
26 years old.
at 25 years old.
He'll be 26 next season. But yes, all right.
25,
Somebody else
26.
tomorrow. Yeah, I got it.
We're talking about a very young
Oh,
player,
absolutely.
right? Now, even at this 80 million mark that we just talked about, with extra cuts and whatnot, the Bears would still be only their 3rd most available cap space.
Yeah,
Do
do
you
it.
know who number 1 is?
Ain't it Jacksonville?
No.
No, Tennessee. Ain't it?
New England.
Oh, 126.
Is they're at 126.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that.
They could. There were teams that played their entire season at less than that number.
Yeah.
And here we are. Do you know whose offensive line was technically worse than the Bears?
I'm guessing. But I mean, here's the thing. So here's
So if I'm New England, if I'm Mike Vrabel with all this cap space, I'm like, let me get the number 1 guy.
While I think that is an issue, you still have to take into account the players' wants. I don't think we're going to get that much in the bidding war because, A, New England doesn't have a quarterback. I don't care what you say about what's his nuts.
What's his nuts? He has a name.
I said what I said. That's where he started at. Look, we have better weapons.
Sure.
We have a better coaching. Well, I don't know about coaching yet. Not let me say because I did want Mike Vrabel. But I will say, bringing back Josh McDaniels, insanity, man. I don't know how Josh McDaniels keeps getting a job back in New England.
Because every time they make him an offensive coordinator, he performs.
Oh my God!
And then somebody
he performed with Tom Brady, not with this new one. Right. We don't know because here's the thing: Josh McDaniels. Every time he became a head coach, what did he do? Crashed and burned. Yeah. So and then he'd come back with Bill Belichick. He'd come back with Tom Brady. And now he looks like the greatest thing. So no, I don't know. I don't know if Josh McDaniels is this offensive guru. I don't.
Well, going back, listen, you are right about Trey Smith, okay? But the top of the guard market exploded last offseason. Right? And with so many teams, with so much available cap space, everyone's getting a raise who's a free agent.
Of course.
His starting salary might be in the 24 to 26.
Hey,
hold on.
Where else you going?
Well, first of all,
this is our problem now, doing bargain shopping.
I'm not. Hold on. Okay, can I finish my point? Go ahead. Yes, Trey Smith is the number one available offensive lineman free agent, but he plays guard, right? Okay. Guard is actually a pretty deep position in the draft. Right? In fact, the word got out that the Bears were basically interviewing every guard of the Senior Bowl this week. Every single one. They had an interview. So right there, you're getting a little bit of a red flag. Well, why are you interviewing guards if you want to sign a big money one? Do you know where the draft is an absolute disgrace? Is at the center market. Okay. Do you know the number 2 available free agent is on the offensive line?
Isn't it the guy from San Fran?
No, it's actually the center from Atlanta.
Oh, yeah.
His last name is Dahlman.
Yeah.
Okay. The top of the center market is actually a little bit more manageable, right? The record was broke last year with an extension by the Detroit Lions center, who was ranked the number 2 center, Frank Ragnar. Yes. Dahlman is actually ranked the number 3 tight end.
Can we just not sign them both?
Well,
can we just do them both?
Hold on. Stick with me. Stick with me.
I'm with you.
Dahlman. So the top of the center market right now is at 12.5 million. Right? Dahlman's going to want a raise. He's going to want at least 15. Okay. You give Dahlman 5 years, 70 million, 15 per. Okay. He's a 26-year-old. He's only 4 months younger, 4 months older than Trey Smith. So you're still getting a top of the market interior offensive lineman who's also very young. Okay. Now, the next question is, what can we get to Trey Smith? Okay, let's say they go nuts and spend that $25 million. All right. Well, you haven't addressed the wide receiver position. You haven't addressed the defensive end position. You know what would make a little bit more sense? Zietler. So right now the Detroit Lions have 3 offensive players who are unrestricted free agents. Right? Now, if Poles was willing to do this for Shane last year, or bring one of his guys over, why wouldn't he do it for his head coach, Ben Johnson? So, according to PFF, the top available free agent guard is actually Detroit's guard Zietler, who's actually going to be playing the Pro Bowl this weekend. Right? Now he's on the wrong side of 30, but that also means he's probably going to be a little bit cheaper. Right? You pair Zietler and Dahlman in the interior. Right? Guys who have been to multiple Pro Bowls between them. Now you're starting to fix that. And you're doing it at the same price as just one Trey Smith. Okay. Now let me throw one more thing at you. Right? just hired Dennis Allen, the defensive coordinator in New Orleans. The New Orleans have 5 defensive free agents available.
Okay.
You know who the number 1 on the list is?
Cameron Jordan.
No, Cameron Jordan's not a free agent. But Chase Young is. Hold on, before you snicker.
Before you snicker.
According to PFF, he finished number 7 overall defensive end last year. And he technically had his best year of his young NFL career, and he's also 25. All right. The market may get a little hectic with him, right? Because again, youth plays a role in offering those multi-year contracts. But I think there's some logic in, Dennis Allen wants to bring one of his people
Not tonight. I got 40
from
times.
his defense, just to have someone in the room who knows what's going on.
Yeah.
His contract average would be between 15 and 17. But think about the math. You could shore up the defensive end position and 2 Pro Bowl caliber interior offensive linemen for just a little bit more than one guy who might get overpaid by New England because they have more money than God, and in fact they probably have too much money. Because anyone talking to New England, it's like, hey, back up the Brinks truck, you got to spend it somewhere. Right? In fact, they may have a huge problem eventually, having to overpay mediocre players. But Dennis Allen already has a experience and has worked with this kid. Obviously, Ben Johnson has experience and worked with Zero. And going after Delvin makes a lot more sense in that scenario than going after Tracy. So I actually predict. This is my prediction. You guys can mark the tape. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But Dalman, Zietler, and Chase Young as New Chicago Bears next year as free agents.
Look, that all sounds well and good, but that's bullshit to me. So here's the bullshit to you. Wait, all right. So here's the
I
thing.
just addressed
I know,
3 key
I know.
positions.
All right, and let me tell you. All right, so you said if we release those players, we got $80 million, right? All right, listen. So, look, I do accounting. I can math just like it. So, all right. So even if we say I'm gonna put everybody on the high end, just like you did. All right. Go ahead, get Trey Smith, pay him at $25 million.
Sure.
All right. Go ahead, get the center from Atlanta, pay him $50 million. Where we at? We're at $40 million. Oh, look at that. We still have $40 million to play with. Cool. You can still go get Chase Young if that's what you wanted to do. You pay him $50 million. Where are we at? $25 million, right? We're still at $25 million in the cap space. Now, all you need is role players because you have your premier stud wide receiver, you have your premier stud running back, you have your premier stud tight end, you have your future quarterback. All your defense is still there. You just added a stud edge rusher. Now you shored up the line. Now let's get some pieces to fill in there. And then now look what we can do with the draft. Now we can do something with the draft. We're like, all right, let's get another running back. Let's get some more linemen. Wait, how many picks do we have in the first 3 rounds? 4, right? Oh, okay. So we can go get some more linemen. We can get a running back. We can get your wide receiver. And look, we don't need to pay them. $25 million covers all of this. So my point is, why are you trying to bargain shop?
Bargain shop.
It is bargain because here's the thing. Wait, hold on. Wait. Let me finish mine. Look, you want to go after this guard that's over 30. Why can't we get stars that are going to be here for years on in? We have to pay a little bit more for it. So what? You're trying to win a championship. Yeah. There's nothing wrong. The numbers still add up. And if you get all those players and you pay them top dollar, you still got $25 million to play with. Go get your role players. Go get the $1 million people here and there. Go get the little $1 million people that you could fit in depth, and you still have your stars. That's all a team needs. And so why do we don't have to keep bargaining shop. That's what gets us in these problems now, is because we're constantly saying, oh, wait, we don't want to overspend. Okay, the people that overspend sometimes They see success. Denver saw more success than us because what they do, they overspent. Stop. Let's stop making excuses why that's okay. It's not okay.
Yeah.
Like if I want a over 30 guard
Sure.
because I want to save a couple million, and then what are you doing with that couple million? What are you doing? Like what, you're gonna get a wide receiver? Like you just said, the third wide receiver is not gonna do anything. So why are we saving the money? For what? For who? So what? Spend the money.
Sure.
You still have 25 million. Even if you had 20 million after that. What? You can't
Well,
do
for
something
starters.
with this?
Well, for starters, so I'm not disagreeing with that you said. I have these arguments with fellow Chicago Cubs fans all the time. It's like, oh, well, let's do this. No, the guy's a billionaire. Spend a couple extra bucks. Dodgers don't care, right? And I'll tell you, this upcoming baseball season is going to be a disaster because the Dodgers have just bought everybody and everyone else has got cheap because we're not going to beat you, so let's not spend any money. Okay, cool.
Doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make any sense. But what I will say is this. I do believe, sincerely, that New England having $125 million in free cap space is going to be an albatross to get everyone who
It
wants.
might be. But
And-
players still have a say in where they want to go.
Yes.
Just like Dion and his kid. Like everybody has a say on where they want to go. Trey Smith going to a rebuild versus if Ryan Poles could go to Trey Smith, who knows him? Wait, we forgot about that little intangible.
I don't disagree with
Ryan Poles, who was part of the team who drafted him, says, hey, we're building a right now. You're going to a potential. You don't know what Mike Vrabel's going to do over there. We got an offensive mind. We have a legit quarterback prospect.
Sure.
We have the running back. We have the wide receivers. We have the tight end. What does New England have?
Nothing.
So you're telling me that Trey Smith,
if you look at the PFF,
who's been already winning Super Bowls, he's going to want to keep going. Or at least competing for them. New England's not competing for a Super Bowl right now.
Look, the other way to look at it is, hey, I got my rings. I want my generational wealth now. Right? I mean, I'm not Trey Smith. I don't know how it thinks. Right?
Okay.
But I just would not be shocked if the priority's gone.
Maybe.
Right? Because again, the gap between him and the second best guard, the second best center, is actually monstrous. The gap between Trey Smith and the next best guard, actually the next four guards, is not huge. Right? Trey Smith, again, generational free agent available.
I think this is a new day in Chicago. The fact that we went and overspent to get the coach we wanted. It's true. I mean, whether I agree with it or not, I think it's a new day in Chicago. That the Bears, whether it be Kevin Warren or if they're in McCaskey's ear to say, if we're going to do this, you need to spend the money.
Yeah.
You're a $5 billion franchise that you bought for $100. Did you see this? They bought. Look, George Halas bought this franchise for $100.
Probably,
Yeah. And you now turn this into a $5 billion franchise. Spend the money. Spend the money. You got it. You got it.
No one will celebrate harder than me if Trey Smith and Dalman are both Chicago Bears.
You have the money to do it. Go do it.
Uh,
Ryan Poles has
I'm
been
just
able to
saying.
finesse the salary cap.
I'm just saying, I truly believe Dalman, Ziegler, and Chase Young is still a win.
I think Ryan Poles is in.
It's still a win.
It may be. It might be,
Yeah.
but it's not something that would ignite the fan base. I mean, just
Why wouldn't it ignite the fan base?
because
You get the best
you're
center
settling
available.
again. You're settling again.
How is it settled?
You're settling again.
According to PFF, Ziegler
Is
was
PFF always right? Are they always
it's a
right?
statistical analysis.
Oh, okay.
They're not biased on any.
What does PFF say about Trey Smith?
He is a top 10 guard, right? And again, the age is right? I mean, that's part of the issue.
And
That's
that's
part
why I think the investment is better there because it's more long term.
Yeah.
The guard that you're talking about, that's a short term. Like Trey Smith
Well,
will have for the next several years
But,
for Caleb Williams' development.
But again, we also have the draft. I do believe they're targeting offensive linemen. In the
I
draft.
don't trust Ryan Poles in the draft.
Well, you
I don't
have to
trust him.
because if you here's the basis of the equation. That first pick, that better be the best offensive lineman on their board. He better show up. Or
Well, it
Ryan
depends on what
Poles
we
is
do
gone.
on franchise. Yeah.
Otherwise, he's a gunner. Otherwise, I don't want to see him ever again. Right? Because no, I'm sick of it. They that Jalen Carter move was horrible. You know, I wasn't a huge fan of Roman Doomsday. You got to get
I
this.
was mad at Roma Doomsday though. Washington was good with him. I wasn't mad at him.
Look, judgment's still out, but I would have been a lot happier if they got on the left tackle straightened out with that pick as opposed to searching for one now, with several teams above them also winning offensive line. Right?
So they hired their defensive line coach. They're just taking everybody from New Orleans. Like that's all they're doing.
Again,
That's all they're doing. Like, what are we doing here?
By the way, what do we think about Dennis Allen as the new?
I'm not mad at it.
coach?
Wait, and here's the thing. I think you need to do that because. So here's the thing. So what did I talk about in our previous one? I didn't want Ben Johnson because I did not want non-previous head coaching experience. So all right, cool. If you do that, okay, you brought in a head coach, a former two-time head coach, to help out fill in those gaps. All right. Now I feel a little bit better. So regardless of how you feel about Dennis Allen as a head coach, which he failed, but his defense is, since I saw the stats too. Since 2011, he's had 5 top 10 defenses that he's controlled.
How many in the last 2 years?
I understand what you said, but the talent still has to go into that, right? Like so.
Going back to your counter, like we got the money, let's spend it. Well, New Orleans had the money; they tried to spend it 5 years ago, and they created an albatross. Do you know who has the worst cap situation in the NFL by 10 miles?
Pretty sure it's nice.
New Orleans Saints. They are $52 million above the cap. They got to cut people just to draft players. It's a disaster.
I mean, that's fine.
I assure you, whatever the over/under is on New Orleans next year, take the under.
But wait. But when they spent that money, what were they doing? They were in the NFC Championship game, right?
They were pushing chips in the
So,
middle.
like, look, I'm okay with us spending the money if we're literally in the championship games.
Sure.
Like, so that's my thing. Like, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, you'll have to bite that bullet years down the road.
Yeah.
But I swear to God, if New Orleans got a ring in 2019 with the
it's
Bounty
like-
Gate and everything, that wasn't Bounty Gate. That was the horrible the pass interference call that they just let LA just do all over them.
I'd have to look at their. I keep hearing that stat. I honestly haven't partitioned out why it got so wrong. But again,
They were competing. They were competing.
And you're right.
They were competing. So that's what I'm
They
saying.
signed Chase Young
Look,
to this.
if you have a 5-year window where you say, all right, we're going to push everything in this,
Yeah.
but we're going to be a game away from the Super Bowl every year.
Yeah.
Would you not spend it? Spend it. Like I don't see an issue with that. Spend it
Well,
because I mean we'll figure it out later on.
Let me ask it a different way. What model do you think NFL executives would prefer to follow? Washington was in the NFC Championship.
Okay.
Guess who has the second most available cap space? By the way, that's another issue,
So look
right?
at the
Because
draw.
we talk about Trey Smith. What if Washington calls him? Hey, we got $90 million available. You want some of it? Come play with Jalen. It's not an illegitimate question.
I mean, look, Washington, luck of the draw. You got the quarterback, you got the head coach. Dan Quinn's a hell of a head coach. Yeah, you literally got the luck of the draw in a lot of aspects.
Yeah.
You can't follow that game plan because you need things to fall into place.
Screwing up the quarterback position fucks it up.
It does, and like so, if you sat there and you're trying to follow Washington's game plan, you're hoping for like literally the 1 outs. You're hoping for 1 out.
Yeah, so you got 2 outs to the river.
And that's it. That's all you're hoping for. So the fact that you lucked out and got your head coach, cool. You lucked out and got your quarterback, great.
Yeah.
You already had your wide receiver. like then okay, you're good to go. And you had a stud defense that who created? Ron Rivera built that defense. So let's just be.
I don't know if that's true.
Come on, what?
They overturned
That defense, not the defense. The offense they did. The only
both. I assure you, it was chaos in Washington.
Other than Montez and Chase Young, they didn't change it. They still have Jonathan Allen over there.
Allen
They still
is
have.
the only.
They still-
he didn't even play in the NFC Championship, but that's beside the point.
I'm just saying, like Washington looked up, and they exceeded expectations.
Absolutely.
Everybody thought Washington was going to be at the bottom of the division.
Everyone.
Well, above New York. Nobody thought the Giants were going to do anything, and they did.
And
Giants
do, yeah.
The Giants didn't do anything because they were stupid and let go. They decided they wanted to pay the stupid quarterback over the running back.
I'm loving the memes that keep showing the Giants GM, his son.
A better GM than him.
Yeah.
Better GM.
Who should they draft? Jared Daniels. He only had the job once. Just go and get him.
Just get him.
I'm like, oh my God, that's amazing. That's amazing.
We gotta get on some of these topics here. I don't
Oh my
even know
gosh.
what we have.
We talk about the coaches.
All right, what you want to talk about the Bears for next year? Or you want to talk about Super Bowl predictions? Let's do Super Bowl. I think Super Bowl.
I think the Eagles do win.
You think the Eagles win? Yeah, I wish the Eagles would win, but I don't think they will.
Listen, they have statistically the best offensive line in the NFL.
Didn't Buffalo have statistically the better team?
Their defense is trash.
But they had the better statistical team, like all around, right?
I mean, they allowed Kansas City to score more than 30 points. That's not a recipe to win a game. So, I understand the frustration Bills fans have about that first down not being allowed, but here's the thing.
They weren't, right? Like that's what I'm saying. Like that's what I thought.
Number one, what?
Statistically best team. Buffalo Bills number 1, Kansas City number 2, Detroit Lions number 3.
What statistic is this?
Philadelphia Eagles number 4.
Go ahead, outline it. I want to hear it. What was the statistic?
Offensive stats?
Yes, statistically, like power ranking for the year.
Oh, this is the power ranking.
These are subjective. Right?
Is it subjective? I mean, they're taking a lot into consideration there. Like,
it depends on who's doing it. But
who's that? Is that ESPN? Who is that?
Fox Sports.
Fox Sports is legitimate. It's credible. It's credible.
It's a subjective decision by a talking man.
Did anybody have the power rankings?
What isn't subjective is New England has the number 2 scoring defense. I'm not sure New England. Philadelphia.
I was about to say, where do we go?
Philadelphia has the number 2 scoring defense,
Okay.
which is better than what Kansas City's throwing out there. And according to PFF,
Can we look up that Super Bowl from a couple of years ago? Because I'm pretty sure Philadelphia it was the same exact lineup, like in terms of statistically,
yeah.
Like it was the same statistics were for the year. Just look up that Super. What was that 2021? When was that?
Was Hurts the quarterback?
Yes. I'm pretty sure the lineup was like the exact same. Now the players might have been a couple interchangeable. No. What I'm saying, but they were still one of the top running games because DeAndre Swift was in his prime there.
I understand.
And so all I'm saying is I think the lineup, like in terms of individual players, may have been different, but I think the way they played the league, I think it lines up to what's happening now.
Well,
and the Eagles still lost.
What I will say though is, I
might be wrong, but I feel like I'm pretty close.
Statistically, it's a neutral field. Statistically, New England has the better defense.
Stop saying New England. What is wrong?
God, why did I say Phillies had the better defense. Okay. And the best player on offense on either team is Saquon Barkley. Okay. So,
I really feel like they said the same thing for Eagles.
That checks a lot of boxes.
I hope it does.
Were there really people saying Swift was the best player on that field?
I'm not saying. I'm saying that their rushing attack was similar. Like I think statistically, in terms of how everybody else in the league was doing, the Eagles were still in their same ranking, and so that's what I'm saying because they had Jalen running much more at that time. Sure. So it was that dual threat that made it a problem.
No, I don't necessarily disagree. I think picking Kansas City is not crazy at
all.
No,
of course not.
Again,
I don't want Kansas City.
My gut says Philly, but hey, my favorite meme of the week, the one where all the NFL fans are hard at, Here's Kansas. Everyone in the Kansas area rooting for the Chiefs. Everyone in Philadelphia rooting for the Eagles. Everyone else rooting for the meteor strike on New Orleans.
Everything. Just everything.
I
Get them all out of
mean, I could only maybe if the Packers were involved in there, I would be more sick to my stomach. But again, in my opinion, those were the two best teams going into the playoffs and the Super Bowl. So you shouldn't be shocked.
What are some of these other topics in here that we had?
Well, I think we were eventually we got to about our worst poker loss.
Our worst experience. I don't think it was a loss. Worst experience.
Really? What worst experience?
Or what are you currently watching?
What am I currently watching? Landman.
How many? We got 3 minutes.
Landman was amazing.
I want to see it.
I'll give that.
I'm watching Sneaky Pete. I'm finishing that.
You saw that?
It's pretty good. That's all right. What's your worst poker experience?
Oh my god. Well,
I know
my favorite scene.
Oh yeah.
My favorite scene in Rounders was it was one of the first talking scenes in the movie.
Oh, that was your worst experience?
No.
Oh.
I'm leading it.
Oh, okay. All right.
New England.
He's talking about a movie. Let him cook. I know. Let him cook. Go ahead.
He doesn't want to let me cook.
Go ahead.
He has no problem telling me you're saying the wrong team name. When he walked in with his 20,000 bankroll, I can't remember for the life of me how I won all this. But I could remember with deep, clear, distinct clarity how I lost it all. Right? And, he ran into a bigger boat. Right?
Sounds familiar.
I'll tell you mine. I'll never forget. This was back in the online full tilt rolling days.
Before we found out how much they were cheap.
Listen.
I got you. Go ahead.
Listen, I told many people I would never, for the life of me, even consider playing a cash game online. That's how much people were cheating playing the tournaments. Like, you don't think someone at the table is just looking at everyone else's cards? You're out of your fucking mind. That's why heads up is the only actual way to play. But regardless of that, in the heyday of full tilt, they used to run this special tournament. It was $500 entry, and they guaranteed 100 spots for the main event. I'm running hot in this tournament. I've got a top 50 stack. Pop up with 2 red aces. Middle position. I'm the chip leader at the table, right? But I make a standard raise. Okay? Big blind, who actually has a pretty decent stack himself, about 75% of my stack. We were both top. We were both, good size stacks. He ships it.
Woo! Hello.
I got aces. I'm calling.
Snap call.
Was it a snap call?
It was a snap. I'm not gonna. If you are, let's say, the tournament is still running. There's still 500 people left. If I'm going to throw away aces, I might as well not play the tournament. Yeah. I mean, you could make a judgment call on jacks or tens, but aces, again, the idea of throwing aces, it has to be extremely specific. Like, you're one from the final table or something.
Right.
But for the most, for the most part, you should always. The villain at Ace King offsuit.
Jack Queen 10.
No, because at least I'd still have outs.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
My brother was there, sitting right next to me. He'll confirm all of this. If I had won that hand, I would have had the second largest chip stack in the tournament. I would have stopped playing.
Oh, of course, cruise.
Because it doesn't
Cruise
matter.
to the final table.
No, you're not even to the final table. Top 100. So the 10 final tables all win the same prize money.
What?
Yes, it was a special tournament. It's a special tournament.
So you have red aces. He has ace king
Ace
offsuit.
King offsuit.
And what's the flop?
King.
No.
Oh God!
No.
Oh God!
I got aces against ace king.
No.
And I'm trying dead on the flop.
Oh God!
Because Jack Queen King, I still have 3 outs. Oh, it's 0.
It was king.
Because he has got an ace in his hand. I'm done.
Oh God!
So, That's and again, this costs. I get my stack chopped by 3/4, and I didn't make it 550.
Producer, is there any way like the peanut gallery can be like shut down, or is that work?
What happened?
We're almost done. Okay, your turn. That
yes,
was mine.
sure.
I'll never forget.
Mine isn't an elaborate thing. It's just a bad night. One night I lost 20 grand. Yeah, I mean that's it. There's not an experience behind it. There's like not a bad beat. I was in a horrible mental state, and it just compounded. I bought it for 5,000, lost that. Bought it for another 5,000, lost that. Like, all right, we're gonna go ahead and recoup it by getting for 10,000. Lost that. So
were you ever in a hand like where you had a shot at redemption?
Yes. Yeah. No, there was multiple, and then just the run out was what it is. I mean, it played out. It plays out
when you start falling behind. I actually have a rule: 2 bullets. That's it. Unless because here's the thing: every time you lose that bullet, those chips are being used against you.
Yep.
Now, one strategy does kind of work sometimes. If you lost 500, you buy it for 1,000 the next time.
It's like blackjack.
Yeah,
so, it's blackjack strategy.
You want to cover the individual who. Because the theory is, if you're a better player than him, eventually, you'll pick him off. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But, again.
So I did that strategy too late. I did 5-5 and then 10.
Yeah.
So I did a 5 and then 10.
But it gets tricky when you get past 3 bullets because, again, all of those chips, in theory, now they're spread out and they're all being utilized against you. Yeah.
Bullets are whatever you are starting with.
Yes.
Right? That's what
you're opening buy-in.
So
opening buy-in, yes. Vernacular.
Okay.
One bullet is whatever your opening buy-in is. Right?
Gotcha.
So say you've got $1,500. Sometimes it's a good idea not to throw all $1,500 in there, right? Because getting outclassed in the hand is a thing, right? I got aces. Someone flops 3 kings. I can't help that.
Yeah. Right.
It'd been nice if I could have rebought it. It was a tournament, so different rules. But in a cash game, sometimes it makes sense.
Sure.
Right? Someone's willing to throw in ace king, offsuit, all in for their tournament life. Right? That I want to play with that guy a lot. Right? Because it's in theory it's a horrible bet. He could have 3-bet me. Then I would have shoved on him. Then he could have made a decision. Right?
But to shove on that,
but the just open shove. I guess the only player at the table who has you covered, and to be rewarded for it. I guess I'll never forget it. But in this situation, when I sit there and I think about it from a logistical perspective, you're not going to. Eventually, there's going to be too many chips at the table. You're not going to be able to beat them. Right? There's 2 things, and the 2 most important aspects of poker are position and chip size, or stack size.
Yeah.
Right? If you have a superior stack size and position, you're always going. You don't need to have good cards to beat players. But if it's the opposite, you need good cards. Right? You're not always going to get good cards. Right? And you're almost as likely to get into the bad end of a cooler hand for the exact same reason. Right? So, that's why early position, play very infrequently. Late position, play as often as you can. And make sure you're not the short stack at any table. I mean, that's how you get broke really, really fast. Anyways.
What's the best night?
The what?
Best night.
I know this one. Go ahead.
No, not you. No.
I know. Well, what you mean? No, not me. I got one.
I used to travel a lot to the state of Tennessee. And any poker player will sit there and tell you about 30 miles south of Memphis is in a different state, of course, Tunica, Mississippi.
Yes. Oh my God, I love Tunica.
When I tell people where the easiest poker game in the country is, it's Tunica by about 3 miles.
Yeah.
I knock on wood. It's been a while since I've been there, but there was one night I could not miss. I couldn't believe it.
Real quick, my last night in Tunica was in August of 2015. I'll never forget because I won like $3,000.
Yeah,
starting with $100 because they were letting me win. They didn't care.
I've never seen such poor play.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, you want to keep calling me? There. I'll tell you my all-time favorite hand at the same time.
Okay.
So it was the same night. I was way up, north of 5. Way north of 5. And I was maybe a few beers in. I had the button 2-3 offs. I started splashing. One guy who I had felt it twice was in my big blind. I was terrorizing this guy. And he kept buying it. He kept doing his strategy. I'm buying for more. And he was getting smoked. So I got 2-3 offsuit. I raise. He flats. Flop comes ace for check. I see that anything. Calls me again. River comes the 5. Gives me the
ultimate
wheel
straight.
straight. Yeah, not the ultimate. And then there's, if I remember correctly, there might have been a flush draw there too. He checks. I bet again. He calls me. River's a blank. He ships it on.
Woo!
I'm like, I guess I call. I showed him the 2-3 offsuit. He had flopped set aces and he did not. He was trying to trap me. And he won it all on one hand and he did not care. He actually gave me my all-time favorite compliment on table. So, again, very late night, they actually broke the tables down, right? We got to consolidate tables. I sat down. He says, I'm not playing the same table as this guy. I want another table. No discussion.
Nice.
I felt it in 3 times. In fact,
Nice.
Listen. Every once in a while, you have these games where you're making every single flush draw. You're getting there. Every single straight draw, you're getting there. You flop 2 pair against an over pair. It's just one cooler after another. And and I've seen tournaments like this as well. Where you're just like every set you get there. It's like my all-time favorite comment from a dealer. I was a monster chip stack leader at this one tournament in Chicago, and a short stack goes all in. I had 8s on the button. I reship to isolate. The big blind freezes on me. Now I had him covered 4x, right? But he froze. He finds a call. He calls ace queen, and ironically, the short stack had 10s. Damn it! I start counting out chips. The dealer said, "Hey, don't worry about it. This is unusual, right? They'll either count the chips before they draw the cards, or they'll draw the cards and not say anything." He actually tells me, "Don't worry about it." Whoop, there's my 8. There's my 8. I told you, don't worry about it. And he finishes the cards, and they both get busted. But that was the biggest tip I ever gave a dealer because
how much you give him?
Oh God, it was a few hundred I gave him.
You give him
But you don't understand. Every single time I was in the hand, he said, there was one in particular that I would have thrown up if I was the other guy. I had a ace-high flush draw. The guy had a set on me. No. He had an overpair. And this is how I won. Because it was ace deuce of hearts, running deuces to win the hand. And the guy's like, fuck this. So every once in a while, you get one of those. That's been a while for me. I don't know.
What's yours?
I got one. It's
and Courtney will always like try to chime in on this, like so whatever. I just like shoot her off on this, but it was a great night. So when we still had the Studio 72, I still always show support because, like I said, it was something that we built and it was great. We had a game. It was my birthday game, and it was a hell of a game. We had about 4 tables by ourselves, and I was playing on the PLO table, and it was another one of them nights where I was in for like 10K, and I was like, I lost the last bit of the 10K. So I went in the office, me and Courtney sat down, and there's a lot of concepts of why I like this night, right? So I was like, look, let me get another 5. Let me go back out there. Let me see what I can do. And so she looked at me. Obviously, she had a little thing to say, but whatever. But ultimately, she trusted me. She gave me the 5K. She gave me the 5K in chips.
This is real money.
This is real money. No, ladies and gentlemen, this is real money. This is not like hyperbole. This is not an over exaggeration. I was in for 10K. And I went in there asking for another 5K. This is cash money. So I was like, give me another 5K. Trust me, I got it. I went back on that table, which was still a full table. Average stat was 10K plus. So I had to grind it back. And like I won a couple hands. I was sitting about like 7,500. I got in with this guy, and I love him to death. Swole Man Q. His name was Q. Yeah. But he'll beat your ass.
I think I forget a different cue.
No, you might be. But all right, so look, we get in this hand, right? I'm sitting here with like Jack 10, like 2-3 or whatever, something stupid.
It was a PLO game.
It was a PLO.
Omaha.
It was Omaha. Ultimately, the run out, it doesn't matter. Like we were potting it throughout the hand, but we run it out. I'm sitting here. There's no flush draw. There's no paired board. The board is like 8-9 queen, right? Oh no. Yeah, no, it was 8-9 queen. And I think there might have been like a 5 out there. So because that's the only way he did it. That's the only way he did it. On the river, I potted. And like the pot is all in for like 7,500. So that's it. This is it. This is my this is if I don't get this, it's a wrap. He goes in the tank for a good 10 minutes, and I'm sitting there. You know why he goes in the tank for 10 minutes? He has pocket jacks. But he has the dummy in. He has 6'9". He has the dummy in straight, but he has pocket jacks. So obviously, what do? In your head, you're like, I got blockers to the nut straight. I got the dummy in, but even with the dummy in, I got the blockers. He went in for 10 minutes. I'm just sitting there like, ooh-wee, boys. Ooh-wee, boys. I'm sitting here like, please. I'm keeping a straight face. 10 minutes go by.
Nobody called clock or nothing.
No, we're not calling clock for a $16,000 pot. We're not doing this.
Right.
We're not calling clock.
It's not a tournament.
Right.
It's not. Right. No, this is cash money. That's $16,000 in the middle.
Yeah.
We're not.
The rules are different.
No, we're not calling. No, everybody's gonna sit there quiet, and everybody's gonna watch. Actually, everybody stopped. There's side conversations. There's nobody talking. They're looking at this like, oh, what's about to happen here?
There's unwritten rules about it.
And so 10 minutes go by.
Next podcast.
And look, because it's me, because of my perception that I have in the game, Donkey Den represent. He throws in that one black chip, and I was like, "Whoo, nuts!" And he was like, "Oh!" And he showed me his hand. I was like, "Stupid." I stopped. I was done for the night. I was like, "Look, I got all my back.
You hit me.
Look, I hit and run. That was my game, and I've been playing all night. That was like 2 a.m. at that point. I'm not doing this no more. I was already stuck 10K, and I just got unstuck with a 2K profit. I'm done. I'm out. Cash me out. Cash me out. I'm done. I'm good. Hey, I looked at Courtney. Hey, you know how loud I yelled in that studio? We was at Studio 72, boy. I was like, Courtney.
This is him
Let's
saying
go.
loud. So that's basically like normal people screaming.
I was like, Courtney, baby, we back in it. Look, we're done. I was back in it. I was like, look, you should have seen how many yellow chips were in that middle.
Mm.
Y'all know what yellow chips are?
Sure.
Hold on.
Not the planks.
The
Who plays a plan?
Oh,
them black chips that were in the middle. Ooh, we pause. I was like, we in there. We back in there. We back in there. I was like, I was like,
All
look.
right. I think that's it for the night. Let's thank
that was great.
Love and War
Love
again for
Love and War.
letting us.
I always appreciate you. They're so hospitable.
They serve us drinks in the middle of broadcasting. And it's beautiful.
I love it. Hey, look, appreciate y'all. Hey, look, it's always a fun time hanging out. Hey, look, it's always a fun time. We'll see y'all next time. I'm about to go drink some more. Maybe play some poker. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe I'll win another 16K. Doubtful, but I mean, we'll try.
Had a free roll.
We'll try.
Yeah.
Good night, boys and girls.